Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Sakai Dev School with featuring Adrian, one of my favorite teachers. Um, Adrian seems to know things that are hard for me to just get into my mind. I find throughout my life as a programmer, there's situations where relatively simple concepts are difficult to grok, and I don't quite know why. I once was fighting with the concept of object orientation in PHP when it first came out, and I literally was so blocked with understanding it. It was like a year. I would try to read stuff and figure it out, and I would get furious, right? I'm a smart guy. I'm supposed to know this stuff. And I would get furious. And I had a friend, and I was going to beg her to just give me like an hour on Zoom and um, explain object orientation. And then I woke up one morning and I'm like, oh, it's kind of like Java. They just imitated Java. And all of a sudden, all the things that I couldn't understand just fell into place. I'd been struggling for a very, very long time. And now I can't remember what confused me about it, right? Because it's so beautiful and elegant and easy, because it's like Java. And Adrian has a way of doing that, like the async loading of web components. Like when he did that, like just like the fog in my brain cleared. And so today I'm looking forward to, and I can't predict when these things happen, but one of the things that like drives me crazy and makes me outsource work to some people who are younger than me, like Shrati or Shvangi, is Flex and Bootstrap. And I just look at it and I'm like, and like when Bootstrap does columns and they're like, call three, small, medium, Tuesday, I look at that stuff and I'm just like, who designed this insane and yet beautifully powerful and beautifully responsive thing that I just can't understand? So today we are going to switch from using tables, which I do understand because they came in 1994. We're going to switch to using some Bootstrap Flex to. So if you've been noticing, we're moving little dots and using the hamburger and the keybob. But then there's things in addition to the keybob, and then we're doing like fixed width. We in order to make it not look ugly, we were fixing pixel width of 80, and like, no, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. And the answer in a bootstrap world is Flex. And so that's what we're going to do is we're going to get a bit of a tutorial on Flex, and then we're going to change our pages tool to look pretty much the same, except use Flex and work well in mobile. So Adrian, I think that probably is enough to get us started, and we'll probably stumble through it, learn a bit together. And I'll make sure to ask a lot of questions, to represent the person who doesn't get it. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah, as a caveat to that, I'll just kind of add that I'm not like an expert on Bootstrap either, right? So we'll be stumbling through this together a bit to a degree, yeah. But Bootstrap does add a quite a lot of classes that help with Flex and grid layouts and breakpoints in particular. So we'll talk about breakpoints probably quite a bit in this. Anyway, I'll share my screen. I can get started.
Make sure to kind of show us what we're doing in those table rows in the UI, and like just
Yeah,
point out the part that's kind of working.
yep, will do, yeah. Just gonna close some
Oh,
go.
looks like you're working on Cards Against Humanity or Cards for Humanity.
Bootstrap cards. Maybe they are against humanity. What I was looking at is whether you can use a card class at a breakpoint, which would be sweet,
Okay.
right? Yeah. Well, we can kind of look at that thing
That's
together.
another project.
I don't know if you can or not. No, no, it could be useful because I mean, let's think about it, right? If you've got like a grid layout, right? And then when the grid layout shrinks, you can apply Bootstrap's card classes, everything becomes a card, right? With the columns laid out vertically inside a nice card. I mean, that'd be great. But I don't know if you can. Let's try and log in again. Radio. So. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, right. Seems to line up my zoom over there. Okay, cool, right. So this is the pages tool. This is a table. This is problematic because tables don't allow you to overflow. So hopefully changing this to flex will fix that problem for a start off without having to hack things.
Like
if we had more
status
columns,
is not lined up right. Actions would be nice to be centered. And the width of those is a constant that we put in, right? I mean,
yeah, exactly. So there's
it's
lots
made
of
those
like
80
little,
pixels, which is like as soon as you make something 80 pixels, you're like, not
yeah,
going to go
exactly.
well.
We're being a bit, hacky,
Yeah, quick.
hacky already. But we made that compromise, and we said at the time that this is a compromise, so we weren't
Yep.
dishonest about it. We were perfectly honest about it. So we may want to add extra things, right? So we're already talking about a published, unpublished icon. We're going to put in here somewhere. Maybe at some point we're going to have the author, last modified, right? We're going to start getting extra columns in here, right? And that's going to start to get, congested. It is. I mean, that works quite well. But
Yeah, we're not there yet. We're not congested yet, but
yeah, as
we're
soon as we get two more columns in here, right, it's going to start getting a bit crushed in there. So ideally, what I'd like to do is this is my desire for this piece of work. As this thing shrinks down, what I'd like to do is for this table, each of these rows to become like just a block with the rows vertically underneath it, like a card type thing, right? So that's the aim of the game for me, right? So we'll see what we can do. Okay, cool. So we understand what we're doing, right? That's the aim. That's the aim. We want it to look like this when it's big, but when it shrinks down, when it gets to let's just go like that. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. That's kind of micro that, and can I boost that up a little bit? Yeah, all right. Not ideal, but there you go. If I get rid of, you can't do that, can you? Silly me. Silly me. If only you could do that, right? Yeah. Well, you get the idea, right? I want to have more columns in here. This is on like a iPhone SE width, which admittedly is a small phone nowadays, yeah. But I use a small phone. I've got a 12 mini, right? I like small phones. So, there's not much room for extra columns here. And I think that a lot of the time when people are thinking about UIs is they compromise by removing columns, right? I think that's kind of crazy, right? Because straight away you're saying, well, you have to be on a desktop to see the full data set. Do you know what I mean? If we can do it, if we can line these things up in a column, so title becomes a label at the left, status becomes a label at the left with the thing to the right, and then we can just pile these things up into cards instead. I think that's the ideal. That's what we'll try and do. Okay, so it's high hopes. Oh, high hopes, let's get going. All right, so if I go down to my table tag, so here I am, I'm in the Sakai Pages web component, right, which is effectively our little app. This is where all the action happens. At the moment, all the code is in this one component. In the future, we may break it into smaller components that work together, right? So we can, make the code size smaller per file. For the moment, it's all in here. I'm using Bootstrap's table classes here. We've got a head, blah, blah, blah. We should recognize this stuff from the past. This is what we're going to change. Let's just make sure we've got everything committed before we start messing around. Yeah, we do. I'm just going to push that actually. So I've just rebased this onto master. That's why it's giving us this. If you see this stuff here, right? Your branch and origin pages tool have diverged, and I have 57. All this kind of blurb is because I've basically rebased onto master. I've pulled all master's commits into my branch. And so now Git is saying, well, your branch is really significantly different to the remote branch. So I'm just going to sort that out by pushing that up. All that's pushing up is the master changes that I rebased into my branch. If I go Git status now, it's happy now, right? Your branch is up
And
to
if you
date.
do get
So
logged, you'll see basically that all the master, your stuff will be at the top and all the master stuff will be below it.
yeah. I mean, we've
Right.
got a lot
So
of let's scroll down there. We've got a lot of commits there, right? So we should have
one
like a
where
really decent we've got
that's all our pages stuff.
yeah, I've made every commit explanatory, right?
You're looking like the way I look right there. There you
Yeah,
go.
there we go.
So that's the latest master. And then it just moves, it just brings all the master stuff in and then move your stuff up to be
Yeah, yeah,
later than master, as it
yeah.
were, in the get sense.
Exactly.
Yep.
Right. So that tells me that I can go crazy and destroy everything, right? Because I've got
You
everything
can always
committed.
go back.
Exactly. Right. So I'm going to get started. I don't know. I don't actually know where I'm going to start, but I'm going to try and start. So this is our table, right? So that's our container. I'm going to look at the docs first. I'm going to look at the docs because what we want to do, we need to make each column lined up as well. So, for instance, if I if I said this is like a multiple div rows, right, and each one of those was flex laid out, depending on the size of the content in each div, you'd get different widths of stuff. So we have to have them lined up like a table, yeah. So there's an offshoot of flex called grid, and grid is what is designed for doing grid layouts, right, which is exactly what we want. So I'm probably going to use a grid for this. So what I'm going to do is I am going to now go across to the Bootstrap documentation, and I'm going to look at what Bootstrap offers us for grid layouts. So this is, yeah, okay, let's just go to the root, right? So this is Bootstrap's documentation, right? It's Bootstrap 5 we're using, yeah. If you go down the left-hand side, you've got layout. And as we can see, we've got this thing called grid. So let's have a look at that. This is your 12 column system that you're on about, right?
Yeah, that was it.
Right, let's have a look at this. Let's see what this gives us. Bootstrap's grid system uses a series of containers, rows, and columns. It's built with Flexbox and it's fully responsive. We could use this. We could use this.
You could just change the word table and then change the TR and
Hmm.
but I
Let's
don't know
start with that.
as labels, right? How are we going to do labels? Because in tables, you were talking about like moving the labels around when it gets really
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah. I think maybe you hide things because you can if you use Bootstrap's breakpoints, you can hide and show things at different
right.
breakpoints. So maybe you duplicate that data.
So
The
maybe
column.
what we do is we just kind of
Yeah,
um
I do it in roster.
turn the table into this thing
Yeah,
like
I
that.
think we do. I think we do something similar in roster. Actually, I think I use this stuff in roster. So if you look at right, yeah,
I mean,
our grid.
if you just like blast that in there and change the TRs and the TDs and the
Yeah, we'll see. Let's
heads
go and do
and
it. Yeah,
just
we've got.
I'm thinking of, a percent S. No, don't do that. Just kind of edit it.
Should I
That'd
get
be
rid of?
container, right?
Yeah, let's get rid of that for start off. Whoops. So, so, I've removed that responsive table wrapper from around it, and then I'm going to change this to be a div.
S equals container.
We've quite a lot of typing going on here, right? So all that can go. Um,
I think T head and T body for now just go.
it's a row. It's going to be a row.
It's
Then
just
maybe
going to be a
style.
row. I mean,
It
for
is
now, it'll be kind of
styled
funky.
yeah,
Yeah.
styled differently to class equals row. Um, yeah. Saying that, no, it's not that, is it? That's actually it there. Okay.
Yeah.
These are going to be divs.
But they're div class equals column, right?
Yeah, yeah, they will be. Yeah, yeah.
I was scared, but I'm not scared yet.
Yeah, I mean, this is Bootstrap's kind of sugar, on top of the flex stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's if what we'll do is we'll look at what gets generated in the browser, right? We'll do an inspection, and you'll see all the flex stuff actually being applied in the CSS. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Uh, what am I
No,
doing? It's a typing class, typing with Adrian.
no, it's peer programming with Adrian.
Pair typing. Right. Yeah, okay. So that's that. Again, that can go now. So we'd probably apply some different styling to this as well, because that is effectively our kind of header, right? But for the moment, let's
Yeah,
just
we'll
leave
do
that.
some.
So now we're into the actual pages data mapping, right? So this is our pages array that we've got from the server. We've pulled this from the REST API, and this is where we loop through when we create the roles for each page, right? So again, it's just going to be a case of class equals row. Bootstrap's pretty exciting stuff, right? Doing Bootstrap, because like you get immediate, you build these things, right, and you've got it there. You're not rebuilding library all the time. That's the thing about coding with Bootstrap and Sakai. We're not rebuilding library all the time, which is just a killer. Uh, if yeah, it's just a div, isn't it?
That's div class equals column, isn't it? No.
I think it might be. Yeah, okay. I think so. Is it? Yeah, it will be.
See,
Yeah,
for me, I
that's
would just do a percent std. Oh,
yeah, that's a good idea. Uh,
yeah,
uh,
that's okay.
yeah, okay, I'll do that. Yeah. So percent S on
Less TD. Well, okay, it's not going to work because now we've got styles. Might as well just keep fixing it.
what's going on there? So, oh yeah, sure, yeah. Hang on. So what's the pattern there? So we've got T stat. Ah, yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's too late.
Yeah, we might as well just start blasting them by hand.
Yeah, let's carry on. Let's carry on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops. Well, I could still just do that. Save a bit of plus equals. There's not many actual TDs here, so
Yeah, you're right.
it's not too bad. So I'll drop that stuff in there. And that should be it there. And that's the row. And
Body, did we just take that out?
that should go. And that is a div. So I'm on column 13 now. Let's just make sure that our ducks are in a row. There we go. Ducks being divs, divs being ducks. Right, okay.
Something's going to happen.
Something's gonna happen. Something always does.
Your build might, your lint in your build might complain loudly.
Yeah, maybe. So that's bundle. Oops. Put the bundles in, mission demand.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I've got it all sorted. I've been working on the course cards, by the way.
Hmm.
I've been working on the course cards for the
Are they
dashboard.
looking good?
They're looking pretty good.
I
I've
mean,
got them.
that's designed by Wilma. And so, I like anything that's been designed by Wilma.
Yeah,
She has a real good sense of the balance, right?
yeah.
She
I've
goes a
hooked,
little deeper because she
yeah.
thinks about how it works.
I've hooked them up to push as well.
What?
So
Oh,
I've hooked them up to push as well. So what you get is the tool icons at the bottom appearing and lighting up with a red dot on when there's a push notification for that tool in each of the course cards.
wow.
Yes.
So
Anyway, maybe
separately, we'll hit refresh. We'll see how bad this blows up.
that's bad, isn't it?
No, it's not too bad. Like, does the bacon work? Does the kebab work?
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
So my question is why? Why,
My
why,
row.
why?
Seems like our
Why?
rowness is not working.
Ronus is definitely not working.
Our
Uh,
columnist is not working.
so we've got class.
Last row.
Let's go and look at the docs. Let's look at the docs.
Yeah.
Class
Call, not column.
call. Yeah, there you go, man.
Yep, that'll
You
do it.
know, let's make it call. I don't know, man. It's a bit like
Yeah.
let's save some money there. So let's save some processing power. Yeah,
There you go.
try that.
Did I tell you that one of the things I'm going to do for my MOOCs is I'm going to create a VI class?
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of people. Whoa.
Okay, that's better. That's better. Right. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, it's not laid out much, but
Yeah, it's gonna let us
we got some
straight.
columns. We got some rows. We got some columns.
Yeah, right. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna quickly look at some of this stuff, right? So let's look at the bacon there, right? So let's go to flex column, right? Flex. Now if that's flex, right? Oh, it's the whole class column is flex. Yeah, this should be flex as well. Display flex, right? So it's applied display flex to the row, which makes a ton of sense. It's applied flex wrap to it, which is good because it means as your size gets smaller, flex will allow them to wrap and stack. Um,
Well, hey, let's make this really narrow for us just a second. Right now. Put it on an iPhone 12 mini.
oh yeah, sure, yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it fits on, so
It's
it
on.
doesn't need
Okay.
to wrap at the minute.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So what we want to do is initially we want to line these up, don't we? Right? Because like I don't know why. I don't know why that there is not lined up with that because it should be. It should be. So it's class row there. That's a row there. Row
Because it's a button.
could be. Maybe I've got some kind of margin on this or something. Let's have a look. Hmm, no, I don't see anything kind of strange on that really. Ooh,
No,
what's
but
that?
when you hover over it, and it just makes that green square go pretty wide. Whoa, it moved.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. You did something. I'm like, it
yeah.
magic moved.
I know for some reason if okay, it's padding, right? It's a yeah, okay, right. Okay, that's fine, right. It's a link button. Yeah, okay. Right, it's got invisible padding on it, right, which is kind of annoying. Because
But
that
we
is a
know.
link, yeah, it's a link button, really. It's got a button around it, right, which is invisible. So if I just take that padding off there, then it goes. See, that's just me trying to be semantic rather than just using a link.
You mean anchor with
Yeah,
a
and
with a
button, right?
class.
Because it's not going anywhere, right? It's changing the local state of your app, yeah. Right.
Now, you
Okay.
think if you just turned that into an anchor tag, it would not do that?
It definitely wouldn't do that. It wouldn't do that.
So my
Um,
vote is to go make it an anchor tag with a class equals link or button link or whatever, right? Because you can see, can't you make that an anchor tag?
I mean, let me try something. I mean, this is hackery, right? Well, let's just adding zero. Just satisfy my curiosity. I will go and undo this.
Yep, yep.
I should be able to override it locally
Red
as well.
lights are going off in my
Yeah,
head. Oh.
yeah, yeah. So there you go. So that overrides that. Um, hmm,
Mm.
there must be a class that I can. I'm going to leave that there for the moment, right? Because there must be a class where.
Well,
Uh,
we won't forget about it because padding zero in the middle of markup like that is a very non-semantic way of
yeah,
describing
it's
the
a bit
world.
obvious. It's a bit obvious. Right. So the next thing we want to do probably is we want to try and make it full width, right? Don't we? We want this to
Sure.
go to the right. We want that to be up against it as well.
I think they both want to go to the right. They're currently full width. The table's full width. They're just left justified.
Yeah, you're right. You're
I
right.
mean, the flex, whatever, your container is full width already.
Yeah,
It's just they're left justified and split evenly in thirds.
yeah. So we need to start looking at these width things that it was talking about, yeah. This is exactly what
Yeah.
you mentioned in the introduction, right?
Yeah. Things that
So,
make my head explode.
yeah. Well,
They have
let's
numbers in them. Like, why do you call them -6? Now, these breakpoints, I get that. I understand
yeah,
breakpoints. I've been using Bootstrap for a long time. I get that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically their grid system, right? So they've got a
Yeah.
grid system of 12 columns in Bootstrap, right? So all you're doing is subdividing those 12 columns.
Isn't there like a shove to the right kind of a thing at least?
There is, but I think if we size the columns appropriately. So for instance, the left-hand column, we can say, make it width 6 on a bigger device, but make it smaller on a smaller device by using the breakpoints as well. So that's the kind of thing that I wanted to explore. Like again, I'm not an expert on this and I don't do this stuff every day. So I knew this would be an
And
exploratory kind of thing
exploration.
where we looked at docs and stuff, which I'm fine with, you know. Um,
There it is. It's a call 6, just like you said.
yeah, call
So that
6.
really is 50%, right?
Yes, yes. Should be, yeah, I think so. Call 5. Okay. Yeah, okay, let's just have a play with it. Right, so if we go on our button, this is like our title column, right? So let's go. It's call 6, is it so it is? Yeah. Let's make that call. Yeah, all right, we'll make that call 6. And then we'll make let's go 6, we'll
The
make
rest of them are
this.
going to be even, right? They're going to split it.
Yeah, it probably will split it automatically, but I'm going to make it explicit.
Oh, I see.
Um, on that. Looks identical. Looks absolutely identical.
No, it's not identical.
Is it not?
The header, you didn't do it to the header. Go up and do it to the header.
Yes. Yes. Yes, you are correct.
Right there.
6, 3, 3. Okay, so
Yeah. 50%, 25%, 25%.
right, okay, let's make it smaller. Let's just play with this a little bit, yeah. Let's make that call 8, call 2, call 2, same down here. Call 8, call 2, call 2. So yeah, each time I'm doing this, I'm running npm run bundle, right, in my web components front end directory. And then I'm copying the bundles into my live deployed Tomcat. Instead of running the full Maven build, I just keep doing that all the time. So, whenever I run these things, that's what I'm doing. I'm bundling, copying in. Yeah, okay. It's kind of squeezing over there, isn't it? It is. It is, isn't it? I'm not imagining this, right? It is pushing things out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the extreme here and go 10 and 1, 1, right? I know people are going to be thinking, just use a table, just use a table. And it's always tempting to just use a
Well,
table.
yeah, problem
If we
with
go
some
to this page,
tables take over and they do their own thing and you just can't get control.
yeah, if we go through this pain point now with this bootstrap stuff, then hopefully we'll get some good yield out of it as we carry on. That's my take on it. Okay, good.
We've already
Right.
solved one problem. The keybob works,
Yes.
right?
Yes. 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 Excellent. We can see all the options. Brilliant. Right. Yes. So, yeah, we've solved the keyboard problem. So,
Try to unpublish it. See if did we ever make the status work?
I don't think we ever showed it on the we didn't get around to
Oh,
putting the icon in there. We could do that. Well,
okay.
maybe that's another session. Yeah, publish, unpublish. I don't think they currently. I don't even know if we've wired the back ends up properly with
Oh,
those
okay.
things.
Okay.
I'm not too sure if we have or not. All that stuff's working still. That's good. It's always good. Okay,
So
so no table.
should we look at the very top line?
Hmm.
There's that keybob, right? And there's the ad page. I think we like manually position those as well.
Yeah, okay. Let's have a look. So that's here we go.
Wait,
No, it's just flex.
flex.
Yeah, no, it's just flex.
Okay. So that's not a
Yeah,
table.
yeah, flex is doing it. I mean, I'm using some flex stuff here. I mean, I know we went over this in the past, right? But I'm doing some of that stuff here, right? So the button has got two things in it, right? It's got the add icon, and it's got some text. Okay.
Yeah.
So by using these are Bootstrap's flex classes, or some of them, I'm saying, right, this is display flex, right? So use flex box to line up these items, and I'm using this is another Bootstrap class here, align item center, which is
Can we use
vertical
that?
alignment.
Can we use that in the keybob down below?
Yeah, we can. We can. Yeah, I think you can. So this is another question, right? I think what you can do is you can apply um Bootstrap's flex classes onto these, and it'll superpose them
Like, can
onto.
we center the word actions inside of that and center the word status inside of it, and then center the status and the actions?
Um, shall we um shall we just color these things first, perhaps? I don't know, so we can see what's going on with them.
Sure.
Let's have a look. Right. So that's that. That's that. Yeah, and that's that. So you want them centered, right, in the column, yeah? Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should just be that's another bootstrap class, which is I go bootstrap 5, text center. So I think we should be using this stuff a lot, the bootstrap stuff, you know. I mean, we're half in and half out of this kind of theming system, that a powerful theming system that we have available to us, and I've not really totally embraced it myself, you know. And okay, so text center should do it. Um, so
Not there. Status and actions.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Sensor, sensor.
Then you got to go down. Got to go in the for loop.
Yeah, you want to do the same thing. Sensor it
Yeah, in
all,
the
yeah?
call ones.
Yeah,
Not
each
there.
one. Yeah. Sensor. All right, let's pop back over here to refresh. Okay, so, yep, looking pretty centered to me, is that?
Yeah. And that, who cares what the padding is now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
As long as it's
Um,
centric.
yeah, yeah, perfect. So, okay, let's add another page. Let's call it eggs. Right, so that's what we're getting. So our next things we probably want to do is we probably want to let's focus on just making this look like a table first. Then we'll start thinking about how we want it to respond, right? I think we're
Okay.
laying down the groundwork for responsiveness by using these classes and using divs and flex. So we're already in a better place for making sure this scales nicely. So we obviously want to make this look like a title, you know, like a header row, right? So we want some differentiation. We want maybe some zebra striping, right? On these things, on these rows, maybe some hover on the, you know, like the table stuff does. Yeah. Because, you know, Bootstrap's table classes, you just go table striped, hover, and blah, 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 and it does it all for you, right? Hopefully, there's something similar for this. Maybe there isn't, but we'll find out in a moment, right? And then I'll have an egg on my face if we don't. But let's just check. Yeah, those are looking good. Good, good, good. Yeah, I think we need a bit of padding in between for a start off, right? We do indeed. So, yeah, I just want to add a bit more space between these rows for a start, because that looks a bit odd. The buttons are just sat on top of each other. So, if I go over here and if we look at our rows, we can go another amazing Bootstrap class. I'm going margin bottom 2. I'll, ex I'll explain that in a minute. Well, I'll explain why it's good that we use those things. Let's if I refresh that now. Yeah, okay. So we've got a little bit of, you know, kind of blue water between us, right? Do you know what I mean? Maybe it's a bit too much. Maybe we make it 1. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, so this class here, these are really powerful Bootstrap classes. MB1 means margin bottom 1, right? So I think it's 1 to 6. And out of the box, Bootstrap defines one as being, I don't know, maybe like it's 4 pixels or something, right? I'm not too sure, right? But if we use these across all of our Sakai code, right, everywhere, you can change the definition of that in your Sass build, in your build. You can define what that is. So it means you can theme based on a set of Sass parameters, right? Which is quite a powerful thing. Instead of like littering your kind of like all your markup with CSS classes like 4 pix, 2 pix, whatever, right? You can kind of standardize to a set of 6 different margins. Okay, right. So let's make okay, we've got a bit more space there, right? Let's make this stuff bold, and I mean, what do you think? Do we want a grid around this? Do we want borders around this stuff, or
Got to do something. And you need an MB on the title thing.
yeah, for sure, yeah. Right. So if I go up here, we can go font weight bold. We want font weight bold on all of them, don't we? I'd say.
Sure.
Yeah. Actually, maybe I can just do that here, right? Font weight bold. Okay, let's try it. Let's just try it there. That's one there. Okay, good. Right. So it's looking more layouty straight away, right? So what do you think? What do you think we should do? I mean,
I think we should put a margin on the title row, and we should put some kind of like underline or something so we see it.
yeah.
I'm looking at the grid documentation.
Yeah. So I'm going to put a margin on that straight off the bat, right? But notice the quick turnaround we've got here, right? When you're developing this stuff, this is what I love about doing these things, right? First of all, we don't have to build library. Anybody that's done any Sakai development, uh, what you usually do is you go into Chrome Inspector and you change your styles in there. You try and remember them, or you take a screenshot of them or something, or copy them, right? And then you go and put them into your library build library, go and age
Refresh.
age, age a little somewhere, right? Then come back, right? Refresh, wait for ages while Tomcat reloads the style sheet, right? And then you see your styles, yeah. This stuff's so quick. It's so quick doing this using Bootstrap's pre-built classes and ES build. So it's beautiful. Okay. Okay. So we've got a little bit of space there. That
Can we
looks a bit too far.
like the table had like an underline, I think. I'm looking at their documentation, and the T head gets an underline underneath it, like a
Yeah.
bottom border,
Yeah.
right? If that row is there a way to say the bottom border?
Yeah. Yeah, there will be, yeah.
Is there
Border.
borders? What's a gutter?
There will be. There will be. What would you call it? So, borders. There we go. Borders. Borders. I said nobody get triggered, right? If you're from Texas or you're from Britain and you're thinking about Rwanda, borders. It's not borders. It's just a border, on our element. Nobody panic. We're not getting all kind of right wing. Okay, look, that's kind of weird though. How do you say how big it is? Border size. Here we go.
I think you say border -1.
Yeah, you think so? It probably is that, isn't it? It's probably just as simple as that. Yeah. Okay. Border. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
Yeah. Okay.
border bottom
Border top.
0.
Yep. So on this row we want it, don't we? Right. So we want to go. border bottom. What? Yeah, let's try that. Absolutely zero action there, right? Why is that? Why is that? Border bottom. That's strange. Let's all look again. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. Zoom controls. Right, there we go. Okay. Border bottom.
I don't know what that subtractive is saying. I was looking at it
Yeah,
myself.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Right, you're right, you're right.
I think you just
Or
say border bottom and then
maybe you've got
border
to go
dash
like
one.
border, border bottom, border one or something strange. That's a bit wordy, isn't it? It's a bit of a mouthful there. I mean that is an issue when you're doing this. Like, you know, with lots of classes on elements, right? That is one downside of this kind of like way of doing things, right? Let's try that.
No, I think you have to take the word bottom one and turn in just border one.
Yeah, maybe.
See what you get.
Hmm. Okay, so that's saying yeah.
So now if you go to, you need to tell it border bottom,
Yeah, yeah.
unless,
I think it's just like that and then border one. I think
yeah,
that kind of thing, right? Let's try that. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. It's a
Let's
little
do
bit straight.
zebra.
Yeah, and also let's let's so I'm adding padding bottom one as well, right? Because I just want a little bit of space before that border starts. Because it looks a bit squashed up, you know. Um, okay, not too bad. No. So zebra striping, right? Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, I quite like that up to now. It's all right. Okay, right, good. Right, let's go and have a look. So as you can see, I'm constantly Googling, right? If you're looking for bootstrap stuff, make sure you got bootstrap 5, right? Okay. Container, zebra, striping, vertical segment, the class container. Oh,
It's a
right.
table,
Eh, that's not good. That's not good at all.
right?
Uh, come on. I mean, you can do this by applying a
A
CSS
class,
rule to it to select, yeah, like the nth kind of like a div or something, right? You apply a different color to it basically, which is what Bootstrap does when you're doing this table thing. I think we might have to do a bit of work ourselves there. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah, Stack Overflow. Let's have a look at this. Stripe class for div.
oh, great.
Bit of jQuery there.
Yep. That's how you do it in 2010 for sure.
So yeah, we can do something similar to that. But I'm trying to avoid going into library as we're all aware. I was hoping there'd be a utilities, grid utilities. Box options. Yeah, nothing helpful there, is it? That's all. So are we happy with this top row though? Is that top row kind of all
I'm
right
happy
now?
with it for now.
Yeah, it's nice and clean, isn't it? We don't need we might end up with some kind of sort thing over it, maybe, like a sort toggle next to it. That'll just be like a little arrow, right? Like a little
Yep.
chevron type thing, you know. Um just this, yeah, I wouldn't mind like a hover thing over it or something, just to show us what line we're on, you know. I'm gonna have to write some CSS to that. Oh no, what a shame. Right, okay. We're gonna have to write a CSS rule for that and put it in the library. Anyway, it's experience, I suppose, for people. So what I'm trying to do there is I'm trying to in these pages rows. So each page produces one of these div. Say again.
I was Googling. Go up to your class equals container and
Yeah.
say grid striped. Dad, grid dash striped right there.
Really? Just like that.
I'm not guaranteeing anything.
Let's try it. Come on.
Let's try it. Not guaranteeing anything.
No, damn it.
Oh, damn it. Oh, it
Okay.
needs a bit of CSS. It needs a bit of CSS. Here, I'll give you this. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
Just put it in the chat.
Yeah, okay. What's this? Okay. So is grid striped a class
No,
that
it's that CSS on the right there,
yeah, okay. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That's the thing that I was
That you were
yeah, that's
trying to
nice though. That's
avoid.
perfect. That's perfect though, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with that because at least it's just CSS and not JavaScript,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Right, just gonna steal that. How do I just copy that from there? No, copy to clipboard. There we go. Beautiful. Let's steal it. Let's steal it. So now we're gonna have to do the horrific thing of what's my course card of doing some work in library, unfortunately. So I think it's in modules two. Have we currently? Yes, we have
You're
pages.
going to make a generic thing on this and not just put it on our page. Okay.
No, I'm going to put it in here, and I may well move it up
Oh,
into
okay,
the.
okay. Temporarily, you're just going to blast it into pages, our markup. Oh, I see. You're never mind. I see what you're doing. You're
Yeah,
putting
yeah,
it
I'm
on
going
our
to put
base
it.
page.
I mean, I
You're
could
putting it
do.
in
I
kind
could,
of like the parent page of it all.
um,
Yeah.
yes, yeah, I'm going to put it in. Well, first of all, I'll put it in. I'll put it in our pages CSS, right? But ultimately, yes, there's nothing in there yet because we've not had to do anything in it. You know, like, just make sure we've not got two pages in it. Oops. So I am currently in the library project, which is where we build our and compile our single style sheet that we use across Sakai. Um, we use Sass, a Sass builder for this stuff. So we can use all kinds of like variables and things. We've not really touched too much on this at the minute, apart from looking at the icons, I think, where we added some new icons. But as you can see, we've not even got a CSS, an SCSS file in it yet. So I'm just going to add that. So I've called it underscore pages. I'm going to add that rule right there, like that. So grid stripe.
At this point, you should call it pages grid striped, right? You should namespace it.
Probably, yeah, I suppose so. I mean, I could namespace it with the actual name of the tool above it. I'll do that.
Okay.
Just need to.
I think your backslash R and backslash N is messed up. Oh, I see what you're doing. Yep. Okay.
Sakai. So what I'm doing here is I'm just basically saying that this is something we use in Sakai where I'm namespacing it to that. I'm using 2 spaces for my tabs. That's what I do when I'm working
You
on
got your
this.
~r and \n that came in that are you need
Yeah,
to
I'll clean that up. I'll clean
actual
that
new
up.
lines.
Yeah. So it's odd. Okay, cool. Get rid of that. And we'll get rid of that. Okay, so well, all right, we might want to change this color, of course, but let's just see what happens with it. It's just an opacity, I think they're applying here. So they're saying make every odd row like slightly translucent or whatever. Yeah, but anyway, we'll see what it does. Trouble is, you've got to rebuild the library to do it. You might as well rebuild, the whole the whole Sakai to build the library. Uh, um, I also have to just make sure that we're including this in the build. So if you had a new SCSS file, what you have to do is make sure it's included. So as you can see in this, we have this file called at the base of our Sass build, which is there, right? We have a file called tool.scss, and basically what that does is it imports all the module SCSS files. It helps us modularize our batteries and power. Honestly, you use so much battery power on these, don't you? Just bear with me. I'm just going to go and get my power pack for my laptop. Sorry. I'll be 1 sec.
No worries. No worries. It's pretty clear we don't have pages in here because otherwise the file wasn't there. And if we had imported pages, it'd be blowing up here. So that's why we kind of know that we got to put it in. And I'll tell you while we're waiting for Adrian to come back, the thing that's sneaking around at the back of my mind is I want to make a web component for this tool table thing. I just, at some point, or at some point we would come up with take all those classes that we're putting on the top of that div and have a thing called Sakai tool table header that is a class that really just puts all those classes in. But we're okay.
So what I'm doing is basically telling our Sass build to include this. So now when I build the library, it'll include that file. And this class.
Now the class is going to be .sakai-pages.grid-striped, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just namespaces it like you would if you were manually doing it. Yeah. So while it's doing that, if I just go over here and just kind of double check, we've got grid striped, and then that's
wouldn't you say Sakai-pages-grid stripe there in that div, that container div?
No, it's just namespace. Oh, because all this stuff's already inside Sakai-pages. No, so what it does, it'll go Sakai pages space dot grid striped when it creates the CSS file. You know what I mean?
But now if there was another grid striped elsewhere in Sakai, wouldn't it get this?
No, it wouldn't because it's inside.
How do we declare what namespace we're in right now?
So you declare it. So I can show you in a second. So this here is basically saying, so right, so this Sass stuff, right? What this basically does, we've nested it here, right? But what we're effectively saying is Sakai pages space dot grid stripe space dot row nth of type.
It doesn't concatenate it. It makes it a thing within a thing. So if you say Sakai,
it makes it.
So don't we have to say Sakai pages on that tag then?
No, we don't need to. It's already inside Sakai pages. So when we look at the markup that gets generated in Sakai, we've already got Morpheus hyphen Sakai hyphen pages or whatever, right? On the kind of body container, right? Then as you go inside, we get our markup with this this grid stripes here. So the selector works. Yeah, it's hard to explain.
Okay. So that Morpheus is adding to the body tag Sakai dash pages.
Yeah, yeah, we have that in the kind of what used to be the
Okay.
iframe or whatever,
Okay.
right? So
We'll
it's
see the
basically
markup.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But we'll have a look at the markup in a second, right? We'll
Yeah, yeah,
play.
yeah. I'm just
No, it's good. It's a good question. It's a good question.
Sass scares me too, right? So that's why I'm
Yeah,
asking
yeah.
you
It's a
dumb
good question.
questions about Sass.
So if I just go
Library finish already? Oh, you're gonna
nah,
just
nah, yeah, I don't think it has. I'm just wasting time looking for to half the pages. There you go. There you go. Right. So this tag here contains all of the pages markup.
markup.
And this is the thing. This is the thing that's getting generated in that Sass directive that I showed you before, right? This. So this is a class, and what that CSS path is basically saying
It's
is,
like an import, right? It's
yeah, it's
importing
going
all
look
the
for this
tags
class.
in Sakai pages.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah, it's just a selector. So Sass flattens all these things. Sass allows us to nest these for our visual, like kind of enjoyment, right? You know what I'm saying? But like in the end, it just flattens them all into long selectors, right? So it'll be like Morpheus hyphen Sakai pages space dot grid stripe space dot row. We could nest further things inside this to make it easier visually to understand, right? But in the end, the Sass build will output a big long CSS selector. Say drill into this class, then look for this, then look for this, then look for that, right? And then apply these styles to it.
But that's with space, the kind of the space syntax where it's like this inside this, inside
Yeah,
this, inside
that's
this.
the nesting is the space syntax, basically. Yeah. But obviously Sass lets us put it inside braces like this, so it's just easier to kind of to get it, right. Hopefully that is built. And as I've said before in these sessions, like the Sass build is pretty complicated. I mean, it's a whole subject in itself. Is structuring Sass theming, using variables to change the way your Sass build works. And the colors that get put in there, all that kind of stuff. Right, the stuff that Michael Green did from Duke with color palettes was like really impressive. And like. I don't properly understand what he did, but he was trying to, his goal was to make an accessible color palette where we could just apply these classes, and it worked, but a lot of it I don't get. It's beyond my ken, right? Because that was something he dug into deeply, you know what I mean?
Right. It's kind of like DS build. You get that, and the rest of us just know what to type.
Yep, fair enough. Yep. I think ES builds it easier than Sass, though, to be honest. Sass is pretty hard. I don't know. It's powerful, but right. Okay. So I'm just going to do a hard refresh on that because sometimes your browser tends to hold on to style sheets like it's the last thing in the world, like your last piece of salami or something. Right. Here we go. Ah, there we go. Okay. So that's worked, right? I mean, we've got some strange.
Although I think I'd change the odd to even.
Yeah, maybe. And obviously, we need some kind of padding going on and things and whatever, right? And a
Yeah,
different.
but I don't think the title page ought to be gridded, right? So if you make it even instead of odd, right? Then the first one will be gray
Yeah,
and the second one will be white and the title won't be gray.
yeah. It's a bit strange. I'm in a mess with this in here. Is the word in here somewhere? Where is the word? Yeah, I don't want to go and like rebuild the library now, though.
No, no, no. No, no, no. We'll just remember that's going to happen mysteriously in between sessions.
Yeah, and I don't like this. This is strange, right? So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to maybe apply flex class to that, right? So maybe I
Why
can
don't you,
go.
if you're going to do a margin bottom, you should do margin bottom one and margin top one, or right?
No, you can do something else, hopefully, which will
Okay.
work. If we go like, so yes, that's our row. Mm, yeah, that's our row. That's where I want it. If I go align items, oops, oh, that's a second. Align items center.
But you're vertical.
Yeah, that's the cross axis.
Oh, text center is horizontal and align item center is okay.
Yeah, and the Flex also uses this thing called justify content, which is the horizontal spacing. So you can say evenly spaced in between, or bunch them together, or things like that. So you can get a lot of mileage just from using Flex classes, which Bootstrap gives us kind of easier alternatives to. And then Flex will do that for you. Then you don't have to start using margins and things. Anyway, let's see if it works. I mean, it might not.
Yeah.
There you go. Sweet, right?
Yeah.
It's looking all right. It's not too bad, right? It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to do the same thing with the title row as well, because that looks all crunched up now. Look at it. It's all hanging around at the top there, So let's do the same thing on this row here. Okay, we're getting a lot of classes on here, right? Anyway, never mind. Next, next. Yeah, that's done nothing. That's not worked at all. I think it's interesting. How's that? What have I done wrong there? Something stupid forward. That's going to go forward. Okay. Remove that there. That's a padding thing. That should have worked. I don't know why that's not worked. Let's try it again.
We may need margin bottom 3.
Yeah, it could be the padding that was throwing it. Yeah, that's kind of in the middle now, isn't it? Yeah, let's add some more padding on
It's
that.
kind of in the middle. I think it moved. You
Yeah, I
just
think it's the padding thing. So what I'll do is I'll add I want padding on it anyway, right? I'm gonna padding PX2. So the more you use Bootstrap, the more you start to kind of be more fluent about. So I know, right, that you can go padding top to just PT2, PB2, PS2 is start, which obviously to non kind of Arabic, whatever, right? That's to the left, right? But you can go PX and you can go PY, right, as well. So I'm going PX2. Actually, I want to say PY2.
I was wondering about that. I
Yeah.
just wasn't confident enough to bring it up. Seemed like PX would go this way.
Yeah. It would have done, yeah.
Yummy.
It is
Now we
yummy,
just
isn't it?
have an
Right?
odd
It's
even
nice.
problem.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that. It's looking a lot better. It's looking a lot better. That's good.
So
Uh, yeah,
let me ask a question. So go back into the code. We only have 8 minutes.
yeah.
So, okay. So the line that you're on,
Mhm.
like that that says row, bold, MB2, PY2, border bottom one, align center.
Yep.
I want to secretly go into the pages SCSS and eventually maybe promote it up to the whole to say T head. I want to put a class in there called Sakai-T head or pages-T head
Mhm.
and not have to every time I'm copying and pasting because you just did a bunch of research to get that right. And let's just say I'm going to build a tool in the future, modules tool. I'm going
Yeah.
to copy that line. I hate that. I just want there to be a pseudo class that is those classes.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Why don't you show me how
So
to do that? So let's make this thing called, um, you know,
yeah. So what you have to do,
flex
so
dash T head,
yeah.
right? Call this a class called flex and go back to library and
Hmm.
call. I know we won't be able to probably compile it before we're done, but just show me how to capture, yeah, this guy like flex dash T head or,
Yeah, yeah. So what we need to do, so I don't know how to do this, but what we have to do is import, we have to inherit Bootstrap's classes into our class for that. And then and in your Sass build, what
oh, okay.
yeah.
It's not just like a macro.
No, they get smushed together. It is kind of it's a Sass, it's part of the Sass build thing, right? But again, I am not an expert at Sass, right? So um if I go oops inherit like that, right? Yeah, you see, there's lots of. Oh no, I inherit. That's just inherit. I inherit the styles, right? Maybe it's extends, perhaps. Yeah, we could. Let's just dig into this for a little minute here, right? Because it's quite interesting. Um, extend, custom, um, extend bootstrap classes. Yeah, I've seen this. I know we do it. I know we do. We do it.
Well,
We
just
do.
grep for extend then.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Okay. So can we do multiple extensions though? I think you probably can. Because so what we want to do, right? So what you're basically asking for us to do here, right? And I think it's a great idea, is we want to extend we want to extend all those things, don't we, into one
Yeah.
class, right? And it's Sakai T head or something like that, or SI
Yeah, flex Sakai flex T head, right? Because
Sakai.
we're
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's what we need to do. So we need to do multiple extensions. So if I okay, let's have a look at base defaults, right? Okay. Some multiple extensions. You can go. See, I'm not seeing multiples in there, right? They're
No.
all just one. Okay, let's just have a look at it. So I'm gonna look at the docs because I don't actually know. See, I knew this would come up at some point. Yeah. It's multiple.
But isn't this a Sass?
Yeah, it is. But Bootstrap's all based on Sass. Your Bootstrap uses Sass for its own builds and that. Mm. Ooh,
Ooh,
look at that.
ooh,
Look at that.
ooh.
Comments. That's all we need, right?
That's
So,
all you need.
yeah. So let's just do it in here now, right? Um, I'll do it at the bottom. So I'm going to go dot.
In
So what?
here,
Yeah,
or you're going
yeah,
to make it for all of Sakai, basically,
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
right?
I think that makes perfect sense.
Sakai dash
Uh,
flex dash T head.
um, but we're using table terminology there. Should we be using that? Do you think?
Well, I don't know. It's like a header. Well, okay, you can say header. So Sakai flex header. How about that?
And we just go. Is it extend? It's just extend, isn't it? Is it? So that's one. Extend.
Yep.
That does not compile. Why is that not compile? Hmm, interesting.
Oh,
Well, this does. This does compile. Anyway, let's try it. We'll soon find out because it'll just blow up when we try and build it. So let's just make it simple to start with. So we're just going to go for it
why don't
was
you just copy the whole mess that you got over there? Okay, just copy that whole mess. Put dots in.
got some. Cool.
Semicolon.
That should be it, right? Okay. Hmm.
I think you run your Maven and see how it blows up at this point.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
It's gonna blow up fast. It'll probably blow up fast, not slow, which will be nice.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Well, the syntax.
What's the ampersand there?
That's yeah, okay. That is a what that's basically saying is
Oh,
apply this kind of
okay.
meta thing onto that, like a meta selector or whatever they call it
Yeah.
in
Okay.
CSS.
Let's fire away.
Well,
Oh, it already is firing away.
it is.
Because my instinct was to build a web component to do this, but essentially then we'd be doing slots and stuff. But if we can just kind of macroize some of these classes, and I am going to go in and look at your code and copy that line feels a lot better to me. Copying that line feels, with only one class on it or two classes on it, feels a lot better.
Yeah,
It
I
might be,
agree.
go back to that page for a minute. Go back to that page we're looking at in the Stack Overflow. No,
Oh, right, yeah. Sorry, right.
Stack Overflow or wherever it was.
Yes, this.
So
Maybe that doesn't exist. That I don't know.
but
Well,
okay. Which ones is it blowing up on? Oh, Border Gray 5.
go to grade 5. I mean, it could be EY or something. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, well, let's
I don't
keep
know.
looking. Oh.
Hmm?
Oh, okay. Okay. We're good.
Yep, yep.
We're
It's
good.
failed.
Oh, wait, now it's mad. You put a dot where you meant to put a comma.
Oh, what a
Could have
fool.
caught it.
What a
What?
fool. Yeah, why didn't you spot that, man? Normally you spot things like that.
Yeah, comma.
I've got commas there. Comma. Let's do it. Okay.
This would be superb.
It
And it would
will.
just keep I just look at that line and I just want to cry. Don't throw it away. Oh, what are you
Yeah.
going to do?
Is that what it was? Was it flex headed? Yes, it was.
But you're not throwing the other one away. We spent weeks getting that working, or hour.
No, I'm not. I'm just
Oh, you
preparing
just took
myself.
out the code. Okay. You going to comment it out?
I'll delete it in a minute. Right, so let's just put it up here like this, out of the way, right? There we
Oh,
go.
okay. Just throw that away. That was hours of work. We'd have to
I
go
know,
back,
don't worry, I
watch
won't
the
do. Won't
video.
do. We've got it on video anyway, right?
I know we got it on video. It's just like that's a lot of work to get that one line of
Yeah.
30 minutes of 40 minutes of coding. I just think
Yeah.
this is a powerful pattern, Adrian. I think it's a really powerful pattern.
Oh yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
kind of like, again, it will avoid us making a web component that has slots just to do this kind of simple, kind of macroizing class list of classes.
Yep. Did I see an error there or what? Yeah, I did. Damn it. Okay, so what is missing? What's happening there? Where's the error for a start? Right? Yeah, these. I mean, these errors are quite hard as well. You get right from Sass builds. I mean, they're not the best, not the easiest to understand. I've got to say. Uh,
The warnings probably are not a problem. Go fire, I think, right?
yeah, something's dead though. Something's died. It's not built. Uh, yeah. Why is he? Why is he carried on though? Yeah. No, no. Okay. So, this is deprecation, which we need to look at some point, right? These deprecation wise are quite annoying. Right.
Right there.
So ooh, extend row option. Hmm.
Target selector
That's
was not found.
uh okay, right. So I think maybe maybe I'm doing this in the wrong place. Maybe I've got to import something first. I mean, so
There.
look at it. I mean, I'll look at this out of band, right, and try and get it working, and then so,
Oh yeah, we're out of time.
yeah, I'm okay for for another minute
A
or
couple
so, but
minutes.
I think
Okay.
I've kind of
Me too.
stalled anyway a bit here, right? So I don't really know why. I mean, look, so that's extending button, right? Which is a bootstrap class, you know. Page link. I'm guessing that's a bootstrap class. Um, so my question is page link. Let's just look up page link. Imagination. Page link. Okay. So that is a bootstrap class. So my question is, are they what compass?
So I'll tell you what I would do in this situation.
Yeah,
I would go down and I would delete the dot row, right? And just see if that's if it's something weird about the row tag that makes this not work.
yeah, I think it's gonna be a few of
Delete
them, but
that, and
we'll
I would
give it
try
a
to
go. Yeah.
compile it and see
Yeah.
if it just now complains about FW bold,
Yeah.
then we kind of have a sense that it wasn't because it sounds like there are some bootstrap tags that are kind of from a cycle perspective, woke up earlier and later in the process, right?
Yeah, possibly. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
We don't know the build pro we like that one right there.
hmm. So it's a wild fish here, right? So bootstrap 5 extend. Yes. No, bit of a reach there, really.
Yeah, meaning that is there someone else that is just in the exact location that we're at and wrote it down with the exact words.
Worth a try, all right.
Although you might want to say extend in Sass, right?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I think maybe put it like because for instance, up here there's an import, right? Import compass, right?
What is compass?
Yeah, I don't know, I'm not too sure. It's something to do with Sass builds, but I think it's just something to do with Sass builds. But my question is, when this is built defaults, if I go, oops, okay, bootstrap. It's not that. Mhm.
Do we add classes in here? Or is this looks like it's driving the Sass build.
it is. It is. That's why you see that there.
Yeah.
That's defaults, and I think the bootstrap stuff's coming in later. So there you go. Yeah.
So that's why it's not working.
Yeah. So what we need is, I think there's like an overrides thing somewhere down here, or as an extra file we can perhaps put it extendable. You know, base defaults. Defaults. Import defaults. Actually, I think maybe I'm wrong there. Base defaults. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know. I need to look at
It's
this. I need to
extendables.
look. Yeah, I need to look at what's going on. I think there's some kind of import order thing going on. It's failed again. So let's look at the. I'd imagine it's the next one
Yep.
along the
Yep. It
line.
just blew up on FW Bold.
Yeah.
It just
We just,
it did
we just seen,
exactly
right?
what one of the two
Yeah, yeah,
things that do. It's not the row, it's the fact that it's
yeah,
running, I think, too early in the Sass
yeah,
build.
yeah. Exactly, exactly. It's not there in time. Um,
So here's quite here. Can
yeah, go
you put this in the pages one?
on. Probably, yeah. I mean, I'd probably put it in, probably, but, but. I don't understand why it's failing, because if you look at all this stuff here, right, we've got all the bootstrap stuff's happening up here, like for instance,
Yeah.
like buttons, right? There's buttons. Bold is probably in here somewhere, right? Being like formatting or whatever,
Oh, I see
right?
what you're saying. You're saying if button is being extended in that file,
Yeah.
why?
Mm. Because down here, this is where defaults is being imported. So you assume, right, that it's there already. Modules is all these are the modules. Modules. It's down here. Mm, it's down there. No. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Maybe there's like maybe it's asynchronous when they do these imports or something strange. I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of parallel loading going on or something. You know, as I said in my caveat, you know, I'm not like the foremost expert on this stuff.
The thing I would do next is I would put it in pages, but not in a namespace. I
Yeah.
guess it could be namespace.
Yeah, we can try that. Let's try that. Let's try that. So, yeah, I still don't get why that's not working right. Anyway, let's try it. You said don't namespace it, didn't you?
It's
Yeah.
not namespace for yucks.
Let's just leave it floating around in
Because
the free world.
then we'll just, this has to be coming in, I hope, later, much later. Yeah, you can put row back in.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Fire when ready.
yep.
This will be our last thing because I got 11:30 meeting
Yeah.
with my boss.
Yeah.
That's why I'm down in Ann Arbor today.
Right. Meeting with your boss, right?
It's she was hired like 3 months ago, and she has a meeting with everybody. And I just haven't got around to it.
Yeah.
Because she would say, like, oh, sign up for meeting slots. And then they'd be all full. And then she'd say, sign up for meeting slots, and then they'd be all full. Finally, it's after the end of the semester, and she said, sign up for meeting slots, and I got one.
You got
So
a slot.
today is it.
But hopefully as the viewers will never realize it, the library build takes a long time. So that's why it's so nice using Bootstrap. Using Bootstrap. But assuming we can get this class to work, and I can move it up into the top, right? But it'll be available everywhere anyway from this, right? But if I can move it up into the top and get it building there, then this is a useful class for everywhere, right? And you won't have to keep rebuilding library, just use it, just like the Bootstrap stuff. And that's the niceness about it. When you're
Yeah.
creating custom CSS for your tool, you're constantly rebuilding library, and it's like so slow.
It takes me back to the
Built,
well.
it's built,
Let's see what happens.
it's built.
You may be finishing on a high note.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Right. So
Clear your cache.
yeah, I did that, but I don't think I rebundled it. So let's rebundle it now. Let's have a go. Yeah, you're right. Cache create.
Oh, we should have changed the odd to even while we were in there.
Yeah, you're right. We should. Yeah, all right.
What just happened?
Um,
Did it just work?
yes, I think it did. Yeah.
Holy crap. Wait, no, wait, container grid
Yeah,
stripe.
there it is.
What's the Sakai Flex header?
Yep. It's the default Y2. Yeah, it's all there.
It's
There you
all
go.
there.
It's all there. It's all there.
So that means you just got to find a place in the build flow to put these global
Yeah, yeah.
macros
Like you say, the
basically. This
timing.
is like a macro, like a pound define, like in C. Damn
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
There might,
Get rid of that. Okay, so just to wrap up, I will now commit this. That's some good work we've done there.
got to add. Yeah.
Yeah, have that in. Do a quick. Yeah, why did I get this happening now? Sorry about that. Okay, status. Strange. So we've touched pages.scss. So that's the thing we added. It says new file there. We've modified tool.scss. That's where we include our pages in the build, because this is the thing that orchestrates the Sass build, this file. It's often a thing you forget to change. You add something new like here and you don't update that, and then you think, well, where's it gone, right? And obviously we've updated Sakai pages, so that kind of looks sensible. Don't commit that. Uh, let's yeah, I'll push that. So I've committed it. I'm now pushing it, and it's now on the repo. So job done.
That was really
Nice
cool.
work.
That
Yeah,
was really cool. I started by talking about how I got nervous when we just kept adding more weird, funky bootstrap. And you're good at it, Adrian. And so you do that naturally. But I look at that and like I will never remember it. I just won't. But I
yeah,
can remember what we just did. And then someone like Adrian could go into that file and like even write a comment or something, right? So that, da 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 da. We could have there. You could almost think of this as like the web components equivalent for CSS, right? Is it's CSS macros basically.
yeah.
And there may be something in Sass that is like more of this is a macro. Is there such a thing as a Sass macro?
Probably. It's a big area.
Yeah.
Well, that's a macro, right? We've got one. We're saying get all these styles from these bootstrap classes and smush them into one class for us, right? Which we can use anywhere in Sakai after that. So
And then that to me, that's the most semantic naming, right? Everything that you did before we fixed that, I think was not semantic. It was disturbing, not semantic, which is, because it was just way too specific because we were trying to solve a problem, and that is what does a grid-based flex thing look like? And now across all Sakai, everybody can just start using this stuff. Just like one of the things I want to do in Sakai is go through and just find all the damn repeated markup and and gen and simplify it and make it more semantic.
yeah,
And so it doesn't look so overwhelming to go into something like
yeah,
that. Um, and so the notion of macroizing extremely long bootstrap class lists, I think is a powerful tool by itself.
yeah.
So
I think it is, and I think I will probably start using it myself because that's the first time I've done that. So it's pretty cool.
yeah, yeah. And then we just, it just means that when you're looking at somebody's stuff, you just kind of, oh, yeah, that's a grid head. You're done.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Problem
Yeah,
was is, the problem was is that there were some affordances for tables, right? And as soon as we stopped using tables, we lost some of the affordances. And now
yeah,
we're getting affordances back, but we have to kind of hit it with a hammer a little bit to make the affordances come back. But
yeah,
let's make it as convenient as it was. That's why I wanted to name that thing the T head,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Well, no,
yeah,
actually,
yeah,
T head wasn't really it. It's yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Well,
Okay,
I
sure.
will I'll I'll get ready to press stop on the recording unless you have any last thoughts, Adrian.
No, no, it's a great session. I've learned some things. Hopefully, everybody else, has learned some things. It's been good. That's what we all want.
Yep.
That's
Okay.
what we're here for.
Cheers.
Cheers.